Welcome back to another edition of Strengthening Oklahoma. And this edition of Strengthening Oklahoma is brought to you by Pub W. Whether it's brunch, lunch, happy hour, or dinner, Pub W has it all. Visit pubw.com to find a location near you. And to help us put a bow on a big Bedlam win and to look ahead to the Red Raiders, Sooners wide receiver Jalil Farooq joins
Sure.
us. What's going on, man?
Everything's going good, man. Just getting ready for the next week coming up.
Yeah. Now, let's talk about Bedlam first
Okay.
because the offense was cooking early, man. The team had it rolling
Yes, sir.
early. Just how much fun was that, man, to be a part of that?
It
Because
was
that first quarter, oh my gosh.
honestly, it was extremely fun being part of that, just being able to us executing so perfectly, everything falling into place, us reading the defenses, calling the right plays. We was dialing it up out there in the beginning. Making plays out there. We dialed down a little bit, just missing a lot of opportunities. I can speak for myself. I had a lot of drops out there. So just we got to keep it rolling next week. Just keep taking advantage of all the opportunities and the score be. If we continue to play like we did first quarter, I feel like we'll dominate any team that comes in our path.
So you had a big touchdown
Yes,
when
sir.
you guys really had it rolling offensively.
Yeah.
What's going through your head? Right?
Uh,
You
uh,
run your route, you're wide open, uncovered. What's going through your head in that moment?
Once again, it's like I had a little bubble route, and I seen that Gavin took the corner, so took advantage of that, wheeled it up, and a perfect scheme were perfect. So
In that moment when the ball's coming your way, are you just like, don't drop it, or like, what are you thinking in that moment?
like, don't overthink it, just catch it, score, celebrate.
I
That's it.
I like it, and I like the celebration too. It was good, but not too much. Not
Not
too over the
it
top.
was chill. That was my goal. That was my goal.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned you got to start off hot, right? And then it tapered off in that second, third, fourth quarter. What have the conversations been like as an offense to make sure that you guys don't have that drop off again? Now it's unrealistic to think you're going to score 28 points every quarter. Like that's just not how the game works. But what have those conversations been like for you guys as an entire offense to make sure that, you keep that momentum up a little better?
We just gotta take advantage of the little things, make the layups. Just basically like take advantage of all the stuff that's given to us. Um, just continue to like don't get complacent and just keep working. I feel like we had that, like we got laid back, we got overly excited. So game wasn't exciting as it was, so we lost a lot of momentum. But we just got to keep that, continue to make our layups, take advantage of opportunities when our one on ones, and I feel like the little things matter. That will keep our momentum going for our offense. So we definitely talked about that a lot. Just continue to make our plays, especially when it's given to us wide open passes. We shouldn't be uh, missing them type of layups. So we just talked about everybody doing their job, taking advantage of your opportunity when you get that chance, and making the best out of it. So
You mentioned that you had some drops.
yeah.
When that happens, like how do you address it? Right? Like during the game, like are your guy the other wide receivers saying anything to you? Are you saying anything to yourself? Is DG saying like how do you handle that?
My biggest thing is that happened Saturday. I kind of got in my head after the first drop. I thought it was a potential touchdown, so kind of beat myself up about it. But teammates kept me in the game. They helped me out a lot. So that's a good factor to have in your teammates, especially as a receiver room for your teammates to come encourage you and everything. You just got to tell yourself you got to respond and uh, take advantage of the next opportunity. I was just in my head a lot Saturday, so it happens to the best of us. But I got to make sure that doesn't happen anymore.
It absolutely does. Don't let it happen again, man. You got it.
Sure,
You got it. You're
sure.
one heck of a player, man. Now, looking at looking at the other guys in the wide receiver room,
Yes, sir.
Drake Stoops had himself a night. Man, how much fun was it watching Drake have a night like that? And We don't know if it's his last game for Oklahoma. I know he went through the senior night stuff, still can come back for another year.
Yeah.
But how cool was it to see him have that type of game?
I was definitely excited for Drake, all the hard work he put in and put out. He definitely deserved it on senior night. Took advantage of his opportunities and he had a hell of a night. He definitely deserved all the awards he getting from that game and just like he deserved that celebration for sure. He definitely worked for it. It was long overdue. So
Yeah, had a couple really nice catches, and DG, that was a beautiful ball on
man,
the touchdown. I mean,
yes, sir.
that's as good of a throw as he's had all season.
I
Now,
know.
before we talk about Texas Tech, I thought I thought the environment for Bedlam was as good as I've seen in a while. And I know it was a night game, but it feels like the fans, the people that are in charge of like the audio and video, the music, all that stuff, it feels like everyone had a part in it, man. That was a fun environment for that football game.
It was probably the best game I've ever played in. Like even like watching from the sideline when the defense on the field, it was just like the lights, everything was going on. It was just exciting to be there, and it was unrealistic to play. Feel like I'm playing in that game. It just made me feel like I really came a long way. You know.
Yeah, for sure. And the defense played really well, man. That
Yeah.
was fun to watch. Those dudes were jumping around in the huddle and dancing. It was fun watching them have fun. All right, let's talk a little bit about the Red Raiders. Now, Lubbock at night, gonna
Yeah.
be cold. Is this your first trip to Lubbock? You been before?
Yeah. This is my first trip to Lubbock. I've never been.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say you've been hearing some stories from your teammates. I
Yeah.
mean, these people are different, bro. Different.
For real.
They will say, you know, in my experience as a player, and even my experience like doing the radio stuff down there on the sideline, they will say some crazy stuff to you, man. They do not care.
Wow.
It is I mean, it's personal. They're a very educated fan base. They like learn your parents' names and stuff like that.
Uh,
It's pretty, yeah, it's intense. So is that something you guys have talked about? Like,
uh,
don't let
they,
them get to you, man.
they have said the fans are tough. You know, there's definitely a tough crowd. They were just like, we gotta have tunnel vision. We gotta shut the crowd up, and there won't be no talking in the stands. So
I can assure you that's not the case. They're going to keep talking, but at least just take care of business on the field, and it won't matter, right?
yeah,
It actually gets way more fun because then you can chirp back at them a little bit, and that's one of the best things about playing on the road is
man, I swear it is. I swear.
that makes it a lot of fun. Now, when you guys have been watching their defense, what kind of stands out to you about what they do defensively?
They got a couple big corners. 6'3". Um, both lanky guys, tall guys. I feel like we'll be able to attack them. I feel like they're guys they're aggressive, but I don't feel like they can run as fast as like I don't think they could keep us with us. So I think we're gonna attack them. Defense is pretty savvy. They have definitely a savvy defense. Pretty good overall. They got nothing to lose. This is a statement game, just like we're trying to make a statement game. So we just got to come out and play because we know they're gonna come out and play too. So may the best team win.
Yeah, and when I look at that secondary, one of the things you mentioned them being savvy. That's a great way of saying they're old, man.
Yeah,
It's like senior, redshirt senior, transfer, like grad transfer. They got to be one of the oldest secondaries in all of college
probably
football.
what group I probably ever came across. So that's
Yeah,
all around. No, even the three backers, they're all seniors. So
it's an old, mature group, and the thing that stands out to me about their defensive backs, man, they grab a bunch.
yeah.
I mean, they're going to grab you. They're going to try to press you. And how do you? Because we talk about all kinds of physicality, right? When it comes to playing football, and for a wide receiver, people may think blocking in the run game, blocking on the perimeter screen stuff, finishing physically with the ball in your hand, but really, y'all are going to have to be really physical when it comes to your route running, right?
Absolutely. Something we preach every week, anyways. Besides coming across them, but we were going to work on more of our releases more often now. Especially knowing who we're coming across. Very aggressive guys. So just making sure working on my releases, very aggressive with our hands, and make sure we're doing the little things to get open.
Now, one more question. We'll get to the fan questions, Jalil. You guys get that sixth win, right? You get bowl eligible, which is huge. You know, what are like those extra practices going to mean for you in particular? Because you're still a young player, man. You still haven't played a ton of football.
I know. I feel like getting I feel like it's gonna be good for me and my future, like for the young cats that are coming up, them getting more comfortable, feel like they're gonna get a lot of more playtime in this bowl game, just like I did my freshman year. So I feel like this is an opportunity to see who's really gonna step up next year. I'm very excited to see who I'm gonna be, playing with and everything, to see everything how it plays out. Just to get our confidence for next year, making sure our year comes out strong. We start out hot and we finish even stronger. So I'm just excited to see how that goes.
Yeah, take some momentum into the most fun time of the year, winter workouts, right? Oh. All right, we've got some Thanksgiving themed fan questions for you. And fan questions, as always, are brought to you by Love's Travel Stops. Visit loves.com for more information on the nation's leading travel stop network that's headquartered right here in the great state of Oklahoma. Jalil, this first one comes from Russ R. And he asks, you're from the DC area. Does your family come to Norman for Thanksgiving, or what is your Thanksgiving plan?
My plans this year, my mom was gonna come down, but I think my plans this year, I'm just gonna go stop by a couple coaches' houses, see what, get a couple plates here and there, stop and pop me. So just gonna get as much food as I can.
That's always a great plan. And also that's how you learn like who can really cook and who can't.
Who can really cook, I swear.
And that's that, and then you store that for the future, right? For the holidays, since you're a guy that's from Maryland, you can't get home for many holidays, right? So you got to know which coaches are providing the best food. I mean, that's valuable information.
For sure.
Now, this last one comes from Ryan H. Ooh, this is a good one. This is a tough one. You have one large plate.
Okay.
For your Thanksgiving meal. What's going on it?
I'm going mac and cheese first, sweet potatoes.
Hold on. Mac and cheese first? Like first number one draft pick, mac and cheese.
Number one draft pick, mac and cheese.
Love that. I'm a big mac and cheese guy too, man.
Going mac and cheese, sweet potatoes, turkey, maybe some what else would I go? Some greens. I don't know.
Are you getting like a roll on there, dude?
I gotta get a couple rolls.
Yeah.
I'm more of a visual guy. I gotta see what my suggestions are, what I could get. So I know that's the first thing I could think of right now. I know mac and cheese, potato, turkey, and some greens, a couple rolls.
Sounds like I could just give you a plate of mac and cheese, man, and you'd be fine.
Yeah.
Well, it's always fun catching up, man. Have a great week of preparation. Happy Thanksgiving and best of luck in Lubbock.
I appreciate it. Happy Thanksgiving to you too.
As always, thanks to Jalil for joining us. And now it's time to break it down.
The breakdown brought to you by the Oklahoma Proton Center, one of the top cancer centers in the region, using state-of-the-art proton therapy. Oklahoma Proton Center, more than a cure, quality of life. You had a chance to talk there with Jalil Farooq, and I think these wide receivers going to have a chance to play a big role in Lubbock on Saturday. Sooners fortunate, Tyree Wilson, the Red Raiders' best defensive player, excellent pass rushing defensive end, stout against the run too. Unfortunately, out for the season with an injury. That's tough for the Red Raiders, and we hope the young man gets healthy soon. That's good for the Oklahoma offense because he's one of the best defenders in the Big 12 game.
There's no doubt about it, and I feel robbed of the fact that we don't get to see Tyree Wilson and Anton Harrison go at it there on the edge. But like you mentioned, it's advantageous for OU's offense that they're going to be without their best player. But, Texas Tech, it's an interesting defense. Very multiple under Tim DeRuyter, a lot of different pressure packages, especially in third and medium and third and long situations. Going to see a lot of different things. So Oklahoma's offensive line going to have to sort all of that out. And with Andrew Rain being out for the season, that is now on Robert Congel's plate. So they're going to have to communicate whether it's 3 down, is it an odd front, is it an even front? Are they in a traditional 3-4 look? Like, they do quite a bit defensively. So that's where it all starts for me, Dusty, is like they got to communicate that stuff across the board, because you're going to get a lot of different looks from this Tech defense, and there's pressure coming from all over the field.
There really is. DeRuyter's always been that way, and he's a veteran defensive coordinator, so he's going to have a good game plan for Oklahoma. I feel confident in Robert Congel. He started 6 games last year. Thought he did, I thought he did a solid job in Bedlam against their front, especially pass protection wise. Andrew Rain gives you a little bit more athleticism, and he's kind of had a little bit of an up and down season, but I think that if you're going to lose a player, that's a good spot. I know Bill Bedenbaugh trusts Robert Congel. For some teams, you lose a center and you're in big trouble. I think Oklahoma is going to be okay. But you bring up some excellent points just from what they're going to have to sort out and the different looks they're going to get. Tim DeRuyter is going to throw a bunch of stuff at them, man. There's no doubt.
Yeah, and then the back end of that Texas Tech defense, right? That secondary, that's a physical group, man. And they push the boundaries of holding and pass interference. They are a very, very handsy secondary. And the thing about it, man, that's an old secondary. Yes. Redshirt senior. Like, they've got some guys that have played a lot of football, and a couple of them have transferred in there to Tech, but it's a physically mature group. And after the way we saw Oklahoma State play some things in the second half of Bedlam, I'm interested to see what type of approach Tech takes from a coverage standpoint. But Oklahoma's wide receiver is going to have to step up, because I do think Tech's defensive front, especially their interior guys, Bradford and Hutchings, I think Oklahoma's interior offensive line could have some problems with those guys. 95,
97 can play. Like, Hutchings,
super low.
Hutchings really is he's short, right? He plays a really good leverage, got active hands. He's violent. Bradford a little bit bigger, but both those guys very effective on the interior of this defense. So I'm completely with you, man. And they're going to load up to try to stop the run. Like, they're going to throw a lot of bodies at you. There's going to be a lot of bodies around the line of scrimmage. When you talk about pressure packages and bringing different looks, it's not just going to be in the pass situations; it's in run situations as well. The offense has got to be more efficient, man. They've got to be more efficient in the throw game. Like, that's the biggest thing to me. They've got to do a better job catching the football. I think running the right routes. DG's got to get the ball to them, because we saw an explosive electric passing attack in the first quarter, and then it was gone. It eviscerated. It was out of sync. I thought in Morgantown, West Virginia, you can blame it on the cold. You can blame it on the rain. It was out of sync. And for 3 quarters in Norman the other day, it was out of sync. And I think that there's a lot that goes into that. I don't think it's just on the quarterback. I don't think it's just on the wide receivers. I think it's on everybody. They've got to get that figured out, because run the football, man, is not going to come easy for Oklahoma in this game. And Eric Gray's been great, and the offensive line is blocked with some physicality, and they've been good. But you've got to be able to get this passing attack going. And I think it goes without saying, to me, the most important factor for Oklahoma offensively, third down. 2 for 25 in the last 2 games is losing football. Losing football. The fact that you won a game going 1 of 14 on third down it's a miracle. It's a statistical anomaly. You should lose that game almost every time if you go 1 of 14 on third down. They were able to put up enough points, and the defense played in the first quarter. Defense played well enough for 4 quarters that you escaped with a win. You will not escape Lubbock if you are that deficient on third down. They've got to do a better job of executing their offense on third down, or it's going to be a long day in Lubbock.
I would prefer they avoid 3rd and 6+, because let me tell you, man, you watch those situations on tape with that defense, it reminds me of the good old days of like practicing against BV's defense during blitz period, where multiple fronts trying to disguise everything. It's coming from all kinds of different directions, and you're just like, whoa, can I get a break here? But so I've been pretty impressed with some of the things that DeRuyter has dialed up and designed in those situations. Like, you want to avoid that. If you get in 3rd and 6, 7+ against this defense, man, it's kind of hard to sort out everything that they're going to bring from a pressure standpoint. So that goes back to something, Borey, that we talk a lot about, is you got to be better on early downs, right? You got to put yourself in good situations as an offense. And, that's running the ball. That's Dylan Gabriel making good decisions with the ball. That's guys catching the ball on those easy throws, right? The bubbles, the quicks, those quick hitches. Like, you got to catch the football. You got to have positive yardage on early downs. Because if you get in 3rd and long, boy, I mean, let me tell you, it's coming from everywhere. So this is a challenge for Oklahoma. Like, Texas Tech, as I watched them, not only their defense, but their offense, like, they're a better football team than people realize. And this is the thing. They are a significantly better team at home. They play really well at Jones AT&T Stadium, and it's going to be a wild atmosphere. I know it's kind of weird because it's a Saturday after Thanksgiving, but there's a lot of juice with that program right now. Lubbock at night, man. It's not
going to be wild.
It's going to be wild. And
you're
cold.
You're going to have to deal with a lot, whether it's batteries, tortillas, noise, wind. I'm sure will all be on display in Lubbock, Texas. They got to go play well, because that's a good football team. And Texas Tech, they play well in that stadium. The Baylor game is a bit of an enigma for me. Like, it doesn't match with the rest of the way they've played there at home throughout the course of the season. They got their doors blown off against Baylor, but came from behind to beat Texas. Have had some other nice quality wins there in Lubbock throughout the course of the season. And 7 wins with a chance to get to 8 in a bowl game is a big deal in year 1 for Joey McGuire. So, and you best believe Red Raider Nation would love nothing more than to take down Oklahoma while they're still in the Big 12. So it'll be a raucous environment. It'll be a great environment. And as you and I both know, I've lost in Lubbock. I think you've lost in Lubbock.
I never lost in Lubbock. Thank God.
Well, good for you. Good for you. We got cheated in Lubbock, but I digress. 2005 was horse manure. But that's a story for another day. Sooners need to play well. If they do, they can go get a win. And I do think it's an important game, man. You won Bedlam. It was ugly, but you got to win. Closing out with positive momentum is very important for the staff of this football team. And they're just a 2-point favorite on the road. So Vegas is telling you it's a coin flip game out there in Lubbock, Texas on Saturday night. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving. So, Gabe, happy Thanksgiving to you and yours. I'm actually celebrating mine tonight because I'll be traveling tomorrow. So I got a turkey in the oven. I got the sides ready to go. The green bean and corn casserole is about to go down. I love Thanksgiving, man. Food, family, football, fellowship, and friendships, man. It doesn't get any better. So thankful we get a chance to do this and talk with these great listeners on here, talk about Oklahoma football and how we can help strengthen Oklahoma football. But a very happy Thanksgiving to you and yours, Gabe.
Absolutely. And don't forget the most important Thanksgiving side.
Oh, what's that?
Wine, baby. Let's go.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wine. It is. I think we might have that covered in the Dvoracek house for our Thanksgiving feast coming up here tonight. Big thanks to Muse Growth Strategies for continuing to help us spread the word about strengthening Oklahoma. Reminder, subscribe to the podcast on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. You can check out our website, strengtheningok.com. And for all of our subscribers from day 1 to current day. We appreciate you. We thank you. And we'll see you again next time right here on Strengthening Oklahoma.